I'm kind of waiting, but not really, for the 45 wind to come through here this afternoon, tonight. Another wind blanketing all of LA proper and the San Gabriels and the San Bernardinos. Probably up in the Oxnard, Santa Barbara area, the whole place. But I had to go to the dentist today, but that's not what this is about. However, it is a miscellaneous errand day for myself. And so because of that, I didn't eat no breakfast. And because I didn't eat no breakfast or lunch, I'm having one now. I had went to DQ, Dairy Queen, for the first time probably in over 50 years. And I was thinking I was going to a full-service Dairy Queen because I was looking at the locations. I said, okay, I'm going to go to the full service because I wanted a spicy chicken sandwich. Well, after driving there, I realized it was a treat store. That's what they call them, treat stores. And they only had hot dogs. I think 3 or 4 hot dogs, beef hot dogs. I wanted a chicken sandwich. But I found out before I walked in there that they had Orange Julius. Now, Orange Julius was an American fare born in Los Angeles, where it was mixed with orange juice and various other things. They were all around the whole area. This is what it's actually made of. Frozen orange juice concentrate, milk, vanilla, sugar, and ice. And they say it's not quite a smoothie because it's not. It wasn't a smoothie back then, and it ain't now. But they do have smoothies there in DQ, Dairy Queen. And they have various milkshakes and ice cream products, I guess you want to say. But all the chairs and all the tables up against the window, so no one could sit there. So you basically had to eat outside. But I was going to get mine to go anyway. But Orange Julius is what they had there. They had not the whole Orange Julius franchise, because that went away. They actually had rebranded Orange Julius into Dairy Queen some years ago. I kept forgetting about that because I thought about that some time ago, a long time ago, doing my research earlier when I couldn't find an Orange Julius, when I couldn't find a Dairy Queen, but there are plenty of Dairy Queens, and I learned that they have Dairy Queen treats, and they call it treats because of the Orange Julius. That's what I'm surmising that they're talking about. So they call it a treat store. Hey, thank you. I'm just now getting started. So they call these treat stores. So when I walked in there and I say, I don't see no grill, I said, oh, you don't have chicken sandwich. I said, oh, this is a treat store. They said, yep, sorry, we don't have that there. So I was quite disappointed because I wanted to compare this spicy chicken sandwich, which I believe probably was a DQ original, but since that was just something that was in the past, brought forward, so I bought the most expensive, since it is historical, And it says DQ. I said, I'm going to buy something. So I bought the most expensive orange Julius. Now, they had like 4 different types of orange Julius, and they had vitamin names on it. So I said, well, just give me the banana. I want the one with the banana in it. So I tasted. Actually, I already had tasted about 4 or 5 times while I'm driving to my spot. But I had to make this look real, you know? It's still good. But my little mind is thinking way back when I had orange Julius once or twice. And my mind is saying this is not quite the orange Julius of the 60s, 70s. The one that was on Hollywood Boulevard in Hollywood. Right near Vine, right near the Pantages Theater. But of course it's not there anymore. But that's how I'm thinking when I taste this. It's still good, but it is a big difference. It's I'm thinking it's got powder in it. Maybe it don't. But I bought the largest one, and I paid the price for it too. It came to $7.84, and that is with the taxes, because the tax was $1.29. The Julius was $5.99. I could have got a small one, but I said, you know what? Might as well go get this, because if I ever go back there again, I'm going to get something else. I'm going to get something more interesting to eat. So that's the historical significance of Dairy Queen rebranding on Julius, but not everything, but just the orange juice. And because of the orange juice, orange Julius, they call these treat stores. Now, it probably was already a treat store before, because I don't pay no mind to those things, but I pay a mind to it now. And now that I know for sure what a treat store is by just walking in there and seeing what it was about, I'm satisfied with that. But I wanted some food. I had 1,000 choices to make, man. I'm going to tell you, or woman, or people, if you want to be politically correct, persons. I wanted a fish. No, not fish. That's what I bought now. See there? I'm still talking crazy. I wanted chicken strip sandwich because I wanted to compare with the other ones. But now I'm going to have to compare fish. So I decided, and I had many choices, but I had been there, since I haven't had a Jack in the Box fish sandwich in a very long time, I definitely did not want McDonald's, because McDonald's shrunk theirs. I'm going to assume that everyone is correct. I'm going to use everyone else's opinion. Sometimes I don't have my own opinion, because I have to formulate my opinion by listening to everybody else's opinion, which is probably factual when it comes to fish sandwich at McDonald's. I didn't want to go to Popeyes. I didn't want to go to Rally Checkers. I didn't want to get the 2 fish special at what was that? Arby's. And I didn't want to go to Carl Jr. is probably next. But I just wanted a fish sandwich. As you can see, there's not that much to it. They probably had another one with that, but I just got the regular fish. I think they had a deluxe, but I'm hungry anyway. So, mm, mm. Mind you, this is Jack in the Box fish. It tastes okay, but I paid for two items here. And both of these items come to $7.84. And you want to know what the second item is. But anyway, the tax, the fish sandwich is actually $3.29. And the mocha, ice mocha, because I didn't have no coffee today. So I am eating kind of like a double sweet. So I am sipping it. So my coffee sweet and my orange Julius is sweet. So I'm kind of have to watch that sometimes. I really don't want to be that sweet, but it is what it is, as they say. The whole thing, $7.84. Because of, there you go. So, I would be under budget, but I said, you know what, I'm just not going to have a drink. I do have fish at home that I was eating for dinner, and I still probably should have went and got the chicken instead, someplace else, or here, at Jack in the Box. But I decided to get paid, so I paid $7.84 for that. And that comes to what? $17 or something. I mean, if I use a calculator. So all that still comes probably barely at 20 or under 20 if they did the sales tax correctly. So I bought three different things. One big large, because most large drinks are $7 and above if you get a really large one. Some of them come in under just at $5 and some change. It doesn't matter whether it's Coca-Cola or any soft drink, 7-Up, it don't matter. If it's very large, I don't think it's that much. But when you're talking about a specialty drink, Orange Julius, historically, large is expensive. Any coffee is large, $3.99, or what is it? $3.99 is not bad for the coffee. That's probably what you pay for. So I had no breakfast because when you do your teeth, they put the fluoride on there. I could have got a coffee probably early in the morning before I went to the gym. Then I start pedaling around, doing different things around the home, trying to clean up. And so I'm very pleased. Under $20. Two different places. Even though I wanted to do it all at Dairy Queen, I wasn't able to. Now, when you talk about, let's go beyond this. I might refer back to it some other time. Hooters, all 40-something locations. I think they only had like 45 to 47 locations left. Hooters is closing its stores. I wasn't that impressed with Hooters. They were okay. They were in Las Vegas. I think I ate one in Las Vegas there. I knew it was a really big deal, with all the short pants and all that type of stuff, and certain blouses they wear, blah blah blah. But the food was adequate enough. Hooters to me was kind of like a cross between. I ain't gonna say a cross between, but they was like a smaller Applebee's, a smaller TGIF, maybe a walk-in milk shop. I think so. Maybe a cross between some pizza parlors, but only with a lot of light. So, Hooters, with all the fanfare, with all the girls there and all that type of stuff, let me tell you, they had restaurants with a lot of pretty girls. They didn't have to wear shorts, okay? They still do. But even back in the day, you want to go to a certain restaurant. There was a certain restaurant, I can't even think of the name of it. It was in Culver City. I think they had the most pretty girls, even though I was married. But we liked that place because we was young in our 20s and we were still growing fast like everyone else. And the food was fantastic. That I cannot deny. So I am, in a way, kind of sad that they went away because the food was okay. They sold stuff like chicken strips, I believe. Even though I only went there once, I'm sure it was something. Um, the service, it depends on how many guys are sitting at the table, right? But it was basically a family place too. I mean, I think anyone could go in there and eat. So I am kind of sad that Hooters is going down a little bit. Of course, I'm always reading about bankruptcies, Chapter 11, and every time that they mention a certain place that's closing stores, I guess you always have to mention Red Lobster. You always have to mention nowadays Applebee's, TGIF, Red Robin's, including department stores, make companies the biggest, and they still closing a whole bunch of stores. So, Chapter 11 is alive and well, but Red Lobster seemed to is coming out of it, and a couple of other fast food places is kind of like coming out of it. Burger M, bought by somebody else. I think they might be coming out of it a little bit. Probably so. Probably won't see that many around. TGIF has its problems. And then I talk about, well, I don't have to talk about it. It's being more news concerning the double franchises that are teaming up as one. Applebee's, what did I say? Was it Applebee's and IHOP or Applebee's and somebody like that? I read today. I'm reading so much stuff that in my mind can't keep up. But I guess they're coming to California like that. But there's still plenty of franchises around. Olive Garden is another one that's starting to have problems now. They're closing places. everyone has to repackage themselves or either totally go out of business. And thinking of other department stores, small ones, of course, Big Lot, basically, uh, basically are done here in California. They're basically back east and the Midwest, growing again under someone else's tutelage. And we're gonna see what's happening because maybe there will be stores here. Maybe they still are negotiating leases. Maybe they're doing all those types of things. Who knows? But every state has franchisees of the bigger companies, even like McDonald's and Burger King. And even though they're under the whole umbrella, there are individual franchisees because one person can own maybe 5 KFCs, for instance, and someone else owns 6 KFCs, and someone owns 10 KFCs, and someone else owns 20 KFCs, and maybe only one person only owns 1 KFC. But they are different franchises under the big umbrella. They bought into it. If there's problems there, the franchisers who bought into it might feel neglected in some kind of way by certain funds, I guess, that are being distributed. If there's funds, I don't know how they figure that out, but there was something. Every time I read something, either the other franchisees go out of business because the franchisee has messed up the money, messed up the economics, not paying employees, lawsuits, and other types of things that are going on. And that seemed to be the main gist of society, you know. And yes, like the writers themselves, you have to mention the pandemic because they always, all the writers, they're very good writers, very good writers. I could not write like that. But they can talk about everything leading up to why this particular restaurant is closing, but you don't know which restaurant because of what they say in their heading. And so by the time you read down, down, down through all the advertisers and all the other people want to show their their subject on whatever they want you to buy or invest in, by the time you scroll it down or press next or whatever, and they show a little picture, then you know what restaurant they're talking about. Now, some of them come out point blank in the beginning and tell you what restaurant it is, but some of them just get you a big heading. They write about it, and then you understand what they're talking about. You know which restaurant they're talking about. Now, let's not forget about the pizzas. I still have not been to Blaze Pizza. That's on the list, whether it be still around there. There are a lot of other pan-fried pizzas around. I haven't been to Shakey's in quite some time. That's on the list. And I don't mind saying that because they're on the list. Might go there, might not. However, it doesn't matter what franchise or company is being affected by the pandemic, and it doesn't necessarily have to be food. But it's all related. Even the Idaho potatoes a potato in some other place, maybe in the Midwest, along with some potatoes that were born here in California. It depends on which franchise get the potatoes, and even they have problems. The people who get the potatoes from the farmers have problems. And that doesn't include everything else that affect the food we buy. Of course, we know about the eggs. But look like eggs is bouncing back. Now the cost, pennies or more, I don't know. Well, it's interesting to say the least how things go up, but they quite do not go down when they should go down. There's enough food for everybody. But let's not forget about what's happening in our political world, which will affect some of us. If you go to the market and buy anything, you know what happened during the pandemic? And this is pandemic 2. Pandemic 2 because who was in the office at that time? The same person when pandemic 1 started. And why are we going to all the shenanigans for nothing? Your life is comfortable where it is, and that someone else ain't got nothing to do with your life, want to screw up your life. They've been messing with the middle class for years. What they got against the middle class? What they got against poor people? The middle class is not really a rich class of people. Rich class of people. If you got a decent job and you got a decent retirement and you live comfortably and you know how to spend your money from check to check, you don't have no problem. But if you go from check to check and you don't have no check balances, or you have nothing coming to you in the next month or the next 2 weeks, then that could be a problem. But it don't be a problem if someone else does not disrupt your individual system. They're in your way. They're in the way of businesses and franchises. And that's what it's about. Why are these people in your way? And we always have to talk about the homeless and the starving and the mentally ill. And let's not forget the children. But of course, we are children also. We come a long way and we survived this far. Better than survive. Better than you thought you'd be. You're able to go anywhere you want to. Become a blogger, social media creator, content creator. And some people are still scared of those things. Let's taste this Jock in the box. Coffee is my favorite. I don't care who makes it. It's one of my favorite coffees, especially when it's cold. I can remember other things that I used to drink that I thought was very nice and it was cold, but I only drink them once in a while now. Really no big deal. There's some other things that are pressing that I probably could cover, but everything is embedded in what I'm talking about. We, like I said, we see what's happening in our world, in the United States of America, the US of A, the U period, S period, A period. It's not a laughing stock. And most of us are not confused about what's going on. We see what's going on. It's not confusion. But you could say that we, as a people individually, feel like we're powerless, but we're actually not. Because whatever I say is taken away will be given back to you. We know it's going to happen. We know that. Only thing that I don't like about what's going on is how slow people move. If you make someone else get away with something and you move that slow, even in war, where we don't start anything or someone starts with someone else, these things happened before I came about. These things happened before many of us came about. As baby boomers, the War Powers Act, all those types of things. Congress is the one that declare war. And they declare war usually after the war has already been started. When you look like you're losing. And that's what you learn when you look at all those black and white military propaganda. You might lose the fight, but you win the war. Isn't that what happened at the Alamo? Going to school, you think that I thought that that means that we won. But all those supposedly heroes died. They actually lost. The Alamo actually lost that fight. But yet, how come we still won the war? Because there's more to it than just that fight. There is a big picture involved. And what about the little bighorn? Tell me about it. They lost the fight. But yet, a lot of those people who, native peoples, were constantly bombarded by technological advances, because that's what it is, and horrible people walking in from Florida all the way to the Midwest, Oklahoma, displacing them. So yeah, America won the war there too. But times have changed. You just can't do that. And we know that there's a certain country, I don't even want to mention their name, I don't even want them on my video. Anytime someone starts to fight because someone is upset because this country want their freedom and you want them back, there wasn't a part of you in ancient times anyway. There was warfare going on there, a lot of skirmishes, a lot of lost fights, a lot of wars. That's why they become an empire. England was once a powerhouse. France was a powerhouse. All these countries were a powerhouse at one time or another. America is still a young country. It's been through hundreds of years, but it's only been a nation not quite a long time. Everything was tightly packed together, the rules, the laws, even though a lot of those people knew what they were talking about, they was doing double standards. And that's why black people and slaves come over here used for economic purposes, and everyone else wants to use some other kind of purpose of why black people are here when it's totally economic in the first place. So, you know when there's war, they don't even care what color you are. If you're not black and you're still fighting and everything is the same, you might speak different languages, but you still look the same to most of us. When you see black people, you can't really say you see the same. Of course, you want to think that everybody look alike. But we know what's really happening. And now you got people with a B or a T thinking that they can take over anything they want to. Are they going back more than 100 years ago? We'll see. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that you've been hoodwinked. Hey, when they built the railroads, they were taking people's land away. They gave it to them, but then some other person, speculators, barons, eminent domain, come through. You already done settled. You went out there, you got your plot of land, and now right behind you, here come the train. Here come the new transportation system, pushing you out the way, dividing your land, train tracks coming up the middle of your acres of land. So now you got land on both sides, cut in the middle. Or maybe bulldozed all the way down and you lose all of it. So what is happening here? We know what's going on. You got a lot of people out there who don't know what they're doing. They're running scared. Yeah, it feels like you're scared, but you're really not because we know what's going to really happen. I'm telling you that now. Those that taketh, they will be taken from, and you can bet on it. Just like, just like the Marvels comic books. Let me go back. We all been watching TV. The Watchers, they be watching. They're like gods. They be watching what's going on here. Will they interfere with it? At first, they didn't. But as we know, the Watchers sometimes come down and they might be affected by it all. And that's in the comic books. Most of us are Watchers. And it depends on us individually whether we want to get involved or not. We might get hurt and we might not. We might make a change. I'm sure there'll be a change. And we might not. No, there's still a change. And when most of us watch, the people who fight for us who cannot fight, those that already don't have much to lose, and there's some out there who have a lot to lose. We never seen anything this big before. America is built on violence by the people, and they didn't have no guns, pitchforks, shovels, and that's what it's going to be boiling down to again. You might lose the fight. In this case, I think we might win the fight and the war because times have changed. There are more people abound, and you just can't be treating people that way. This is Robin Deschamps. I would stay on there a little longer. There's so many other things to say. But I'm not no orator. But I have been practicing with YouTube from the beginning. And I have been practicing certain other things to bring me yet this far. I'm not perfect, but sometimes I feel like I should throw my hat in there and really tell it like it is. But since I am live, and since I am in social media, because that's what this is, I'm not afraid. And all you others out there should not be afraid. If we have to get out there and fight, I will, even at my age. It doesn't make sense. Because I do care about the people after me. Like I said in my other video, it doesn't make no sense that we have to even tighten our belts. The system is built for many types of people to do whatever they want to in this country, long as it's not corruptible. The people in charge are more corrupted, pretty much, than the people who actually steal things. Because they only steal things because the people that's got all that money up there, you can tell how conceited they look, even how scared. It's just like when you're growing up, you're scared when we should be fighting. That's all I got to say. I'll see you in my next video, folks. I haven't even made a thumbnail yet. I couldn't. A lot of times it's hard for me to make a thumbnail. But then again, my thoughts sometimes come after the thumbnail. But since this is live, just my face just might be the thumbnail. And if I do make a thumbnail, it's just to make the entrance look pretty. Talk to you later. See you in my next video. Have a great rest of your day and evening. And power to the people.